What is going on YouTube? I am DigitalSquirrel and welcome back to the second episode of the Realms of Rendgarden Let's Build series. Now today we're actually starting building, and we are going to be building, to start this off, something that will be necessary to get inhabitants into this lovely land of ours. It's a port, so we can get all the ships in and get our settlers off. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be building today. I'm also going to be building a lighthouse so they can actually see that there's something here and they don't just decide to land boat all over the place. That's what I've built today, actually. So, as you can see me here, I'm just basically laying out the dock area of it. Now, I've got a little bit of experience building docks, actually, because I built the one on the crest of Vanguard a little while back. So I wasn't copying the one from there. I was going with a totally new design. It does look similar, but I guess it's a port, so it's going to look similar regardless. However, this first clip, you may be able to notice, is a little bit odd with the transitions and stuff, but that's because I originally thought I was recording with OBS, but I accidentally clicked preview. So this is actually, I duplicated the world and started just breaking everything, and then I reversed the footage of me breaking everything, so it looks like I'm building it. So that might be why it looks a little bit strange, but it gets the idea across. So you can see here I'm going for the multi-layered kind of port to give it some depth and just a little bit more detail to it, instead of just a flat port area. So if you're enjoying this series so far, make sure you leave a like below as well, because this is going to be time consuming for me, especially when I get to some of the bigger builds, because this, I think, I built a bit, but I think I want to, in the future, I want to build a lot more. You see here I'm just adding a little bit of greenery just so it's not browns and grey, just a little bit more colour to kind of fit in with the backdrop of the forest and stuff. Of course, what port would be incomplete without a little bit of cargo? So I've added some logs, some melons, a little bit of like cobblestone in a pile, just to give it that little bit more of a dock feel, kind of all these shipments and stuff. So that got me thinking, if I've built all these shipments, I'm going to need a crane to unload it off. And I mean, a crane might seem a little bit futuristic for a medieval fantasy world, but I've gone with something pretty simple. And actually, cranes were invented quite a while ago. Like an early type of crane was invented quite a while ago, before before I think the Roman Empire even. It was very, very long ago. So yeah, as the text says there, this is the next day when I just started recording, so this is no longer in reverse, as you can see, and this is where I start building on the lighthouse. Now, yeah, it's in the wrong texture pack, but I changed that in a few minutes, I think like 2 or 3 minutes, so stick around for that, but yeah, I totally didn't realize, which is kind of odd. This angle is a little bit odd right now, but I fix it up in a second so you can actually see what I'm building. So I don't really want to go for a traditional kind of lighthouse design. I kind of want to make it kind of an open thing rather than just being a solid structure. I kind of want it to be more of like a frame, just so it kind of gets the idea across that this is a new settlement and they're just building something kind of makeshift. But it looks pretty good in the end. It does look a little bit odd, like different to what a typical lighthouse would look like, but I kind of like it. So this is where I basically start on the second floor. Now I think there's about 5 or 6 floors to this. I haven't put anything special on any of them, apart from the top one, which I put the lighthouse thing, which you'll see coming up. So now we're back into the correct texture pack, and it looks pretty cool. So rather than adding just big chunks of one kind of block, I've kind of gone for the depth approach. So I've added stairs and fences and walls and stuff around, so it doesn't look quite as flat and it looks more interesting with more detail and stuff. Of course, this is a lighthouse, so I kind of want it to be lit up a little bit, but I'm just deciding. And the glowstone texture and also the trapdoor texture in this texture pack don't look very good, so I think I'll go ahead and edit them. And if I'm saying it in this episode, it'll kind of remind me to go and change them. I'll probably change them to some other... I don't know if the textures change between like the high variant of Doku Craft or not, but if it's more of a wood, because I kind of want a more traditional glowstone look of the yellow and kind of thing. And then the trapdoors are kind of weird looking. They've got like this gold trim outline and stuff, but I kind of just want them to be more like a wood hatch kind of thing. Buttons are always a good choice, just to add that little bit extra of like depth and detail. I like using buttons a lot, actually, so you'll probably see that a little bit throughout this series. So let me know in the comments below what kind of FOV you prefer, because right now it's in Quake Pro, which is what I always play in, but because I'm not using the camera account, I can change it so it matches an FOV that you guys would like. So I think later on I changed it to like 90 or something, so let me know if that is any better. Alright, so this is 90 on the FOV, I believe, so let me know if you like this any better. So now I've done that little inside tower bit, I'm kind of just trying to experiment with designs for the outer wall kind of thing, just so it kind of builds up. Like medieval buildings, kind of, one floor is a certain width, and then the next floor above that is kind of a few wider, and then above that it's a few wider. It's just kind of how I like to go for medieval kind of builds. So that's what I've done for here, and then the top layer I've just been experimenting around with, and you can see I've come up with those odd circular kind of V/U shapes. I kind of like them actually. Now here's where I actually get to the lighthouse mechanics. So I've basically set a minecart going around in a very small circle, connected to detector rails that'll trigger lamps and stuff. So you can see here that it is basically turning the lights on and off every now and again. As well as buttons, I also like to add ladders a little bit on my build, so I'm going to be experimenting around with that. That was a really choppy transition there by me, so I apologize for that. But right now, we are basically finished with the tower part, and I'm just doing the roof now, but I'm not very good at like roofs, like steeple roofs, so I kind of had to experiment a little bit in pre-design, but I think it turned out fairly decent. So that's the main structure of the lighthouse pretty much done at that point. And after a really bad transition, I want to kind of build like a fishing kind of boat in the port. Now, my forte is not boats. I am really bad at building boats, so I kind of had to experiment a little bit around and look at actual fishing boats from games and stuff to kind of figure out a design that I wanted to go with. So I decided on a boat design, but I think it could be a little bit better. I think I could do some developments on my boat skills throughout this series, but it's alright for a tiny fishing ship, I think. I'm using cobwebs as a kind of fishnet, if you can say that. I also add a little bit of vinage and stuff to the side of the tower, just as an experiment. I wasn't sure it was going to look good, but I just left it there just in case. So we're basically at the end at this point, and I'm just flattening out this back area a little bit and adding a little bit more decoration. So this will actually be the path into the little village that I'll be starting here. And then once I've got that village done, I hope to move up into the forest up there and start building some, I don't know, I was thinking of building like a forester's settlement up in the forest after I finish that. But this is a preview, I suppose, in normal speed of what I've built here, so you can kind of gauge what I've built. So let me know what you think of this in the description or in the comment. I always say description, except it's not the description at all, it's the comments. But that's the lighthouse there with the flashing lights that work, and this is the dock area. I hope you enjoyed this episode, guys. If you did, leave a like, and I will be back next time.